This chart maps the 24-hour viewer counts for the first two Grand Theft Auto V trailers. The first release captured 90 million views in a single day. The second reached 475 million. The public interest surrounding this project dwarfs every other media launch in history. Before those official numbers materialized, the audience spent 10 years waiting in the dark. The developer, Rockstar Games, maintained strict silence about their next major release, offering zero confirmed details for a decade. Nature abhors a vacuum, and so does the internet. Without official announcements, a massive ecosystem of fabricated leaks took root. Millions of players began accepting unconfirmed screenshots, fake features, and outright hoaxes as documented facts. If you enjoy investigative documentaries uncovering the hidden stories behind gaming's biggest companies, consider subscribing to Vice Files. When a studio locks down all communication, the community is left to its own devices. A desperate audience will gather fragments, rumors, and wishes and stitch them together to manufacture the reality they want to see. That dynamic shifted violently in September 2022. A massive network intrusion penetrated Rockstar servers, ripping dozens of early development videos from internal Slack channels and dumping them onto the public web. Rockstar published this official statement to their Newswire shortly after. They acknowledged the security breach and, crucially, confirmed that the stolen footage was entirely real. Armed with genuine development files, the community went to work. Fans scrutinized the background coordinates in the raw clips, calculating distances and drawing sightlines to piece together an accurate structural map of the new Leonidas setting long before Rockstar intended to show it. But this genuine leak broke the community's compass. Because a massive, impossible-sounding server breach turned out to be real, the psychological barrier for belief evaporated. From that moment on, any grainy clip posted on a forum carried the dangerous potential of being the truth. A cottage industry quickly emerged to exploit this new vulnerability. Content creators and anonymous accounts realized that a community primed to believe the impossible was a highly lucrative target. An account named ZapActu GTA 6 demonstrated exactly how easy it was to capture attention. They posted a brief, supposed gameplay clip labeled "Extremely Serious Situation." Within 24 hours, the post had accumulated 8 million views. The creator later confessed that the footage contained zero real information. It was entirely AI-generated. Yet, according to their own observations, half the audience accepted it as genuine gameplay. Generative AI video models had reached a point of fidelity that could successfully mimic the visual language of a video game. As these tools improved, a quick scroll on social media was no longer enough to distinguish a true asset from a synthetic hallucination. Some fabricators didn't rely on algorithms at all. They took a meticulous manual approach, like the creator responsible for the infamous bridge leak. This user spent months working in a 3D engine to rebuild a specific slice of Miami. They crafted a fake interface and intentionally degraded the video quality to mimic a rough 2020 development build. Their sole motivation was to see if they could manually engineer a hoax convincing enough to trick millions. By pairing the rapid iteration of generative AI with the sheer dedication of manual forgery, bad actors flooded the internet. Visual evidence, once the gold standard for verifying a leak, was entirely compromised. The deception extended well beyond fake videos. Text-based rumors were regularly laundered through forums and anonymous insiders until gaming news outlets repeated them as accepted facts. One prominent rumor claimed that physical disc copies of the game would be delayed to prevent retail leaks. This narrative was built entirely on a misunderstanding of outsourced customer support chatbots and sketchy forum users attempting to sound authoritative. The speculation only stopped when executive authority stepped in. During a financial earnings call, Take-Two Interactive CEO Strauss Zelnick definitively stated that physical copies would not be delayed. Internally, Rockstar aggressively retaliated against the continued flow of unauthorized information. Court documents later revealed that the company terminated employees in the UK, the US, and India specifically for violating non-disclosure agreements. The studio even initiated internal sting operations. Reports surfaced that managers were intentionally spreading false details among different departments to see which specific rumors made their way to the public, allowing them to track and expose internal moles. The sheer volume of external fabrications and genuine leaks forced the studio into extreme paranoia. Developing their flagship title now required operating a full-scale counterintelligence division just to maintain control over their own product. Eventually, Rockstar reclaimed their narrative, replacing the decade of speculation with an official, concrete roadmap. Even their initial reveal was compromised when the first trailer leaked on social media the night before its scheduled premiere. The studio had to abandon their carefully planned global event and drop the video early. Once public, the timeline adjusted. The initial target of fall 2025 shifted to a firm release date of May 26, 2026. Then, the target moved one final time, extending to November 19, 2026, as developers required extra months for polish. With the final details locked, the contrast between the internet's wild goose chases and the confirmed reality became clear. The AI-generated hallucinations were replaced by actual dual protagonists, Jason and Lucia, navigating a verified setting. The murky, degraded fakes simply couldn't compete with the genuine aesthetic of Leonida, heavily drawing from the vibrant, neon-lit architecture of Miami. Millions of people were fooled because the conditions were perfectly aligned. When you starve a deeply invested audience of information for 10 years, inject one genuine server breach to prove that leaks can be real, and hand the internet powerful creation tools, they will gladly accept a well-crafted fiction. If you enjoyed this investigation, subscribe to Vice Files for more documentaries uncovering gaming's biggest mysteries.